For the last few days now, there has been an ongoing controversy with very graphic and violent stories within manga and anime, mainly Made in Abyss, but I've seen Jujutsu Kaisen added to it, I've seen Berserk added to it, I've seen even Violet Evergarden talked about in terms of it not being safe, quote unquote. It's just like, yikes. There is an ongoing controversy with this, and where does it all really come from? Well, it comes from individuals like this that are K-pop stans, basically individuals that idolize idols, or Korean idols, and they think that if they do something that is remotely against their wishes, they need to be removed from the face of the earth, so to speak, or at least canceled. And that's basically what happened. You had a K-pop idol, Korean idol, that, was sharing what he was watching as of late, for instance, like Made in Abyss and stuff, and soon as his fans found out about this, or K-pop stans found out about this, he proceeded to get completely canceled, and other people joined in. It got really bad. It legitimately got really, really bad. So when you factor all of this stuff in, it's just like one thing stemmed to another, and then people started throwing things around that wasn't really true, which, quote-unquote, the community notes clarifying this, and then you had news articles picking this up, basically saying, yeah, this is very disturbing, that obviously has no idea what they're talking about, they haven't watched the series, etc., and let's just get into that, okay? What's effectively going on here, to really just summarize everything, is that people are upset that a story is graphic, a story is violent, a story has dark content, and it upsets them, it disturbs them, and they think that if you watch it, you are supporting that content. That is not what that means if you watch that content. It's like saying you support all the horrific deeds within Game of Thrones if you watch and love Game of Thrones. That's not, no, that is just, that's so insane. The insanity of a statement like that, saying that if you watch something, you support that, is ridiculous to me. It legit is. But Made in Abyss, in its core essence, if we're just talking about the main one that's getting a lot of controversy around it, its core essence, it's a dark fantasy. It is about kids diving into the abyss. FYI, if you do even a little bit of research on what the abyss is, it's in our literature as well in terms of a lot of storytelling nowadays. The abyss is pretty much from Lovecraft. It is this eldritch, deities. There is elder gods, Cthulhu, that are in these dark places, the unknown, the cosmic horrors and all that. And when you have a story that is kind of centered around something kind of similar to that, like Lovecraftian inspired, it's going to be a dark story. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. And Made in Abyss 100% utilizes themes and story beats that you don't really see a lot in other manga and anime, like Lovecraft. So it is definitely something that stands out. It's a very dark story, and it doesn't try to say everything that happens that's really dark and messed up is a good thing within its story. It directly says it's bad, it is a part of the story. And so having individuals go out of their way and even having articles written about this type of stuff, basically calling for censorship on literature, I think is legitimately despicable. I legit think that this is absolutely despicable behavior, because it's like, if we censored everything, we would not get stuff like Berserk. We would not get stuff like Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, because someone's feelings got hurt. But this whole conversation, once again, if we're getting back into it, we even have other YouTubers talking about this, it all stems back to K-pop stans, and how they were upset that their idol dare watch something that is controversial or dark in nature, something that completely goes against their worldviews, and it's just like, bro, what? Like, let the person be a human and do what they want. It really is ridiculous. Like, it really just paints a whole different light on, like, Oshinoko. Like, anyone that obviously has watched Oshinoko or has a basic understanding of what it's about, it really is true. Like, it really shows the just insanity levels of what people will do if their idols dare do anything that is against their wishes. Because they literally idolize them to the point of like a god, and they get completely upset if they do anything that is outside of their expectations. It's just, it's literally insane. But, one thing I will say is just like, I am so thankful for community notes. It's probably one of the best additions that has ever been added to this site. Like, if there is just one thing that legitimately is the best ever, it is these community notes, because it calls out stuff like this. And I also think that, saying the word like this just around and just throwing it to any person just does more damage than helpful, because it basically kind of undermines actual people that are getting harmed, getting abused, etc., and throwing this to fictional works that aren't real whatsoever. Also, it just, like, you're doing more damage to society. You're undermining actual people that are facing abuse and problems. So I'm very happy to see this individual called out. It is really nice to see, because they definitely should. 100%, because this does harm to society more than anything when you have people trying to throw a buzzword around and not really understanding what they're truly talking about, just insult somebody because it's darker content. But anyways, this article as well that was written, legitimately awful. Like, it's surface level, talks about the summary of the show, but it pretty much is trying to get in for the clicks and all that for basically saying, yeah, Made in Abyss bad because it's a dark story. And it's just like, bro. Like, bro, it is legitimately, it's crazy how society is. And I think that the more and more stuff we see like this, it just shows, like, a lot of people are getting into anime nowadays, and as more companies try to get into it, they're trying to mold anime into the worldviews of the West, which I think is completely wrong, because anime is just a completely different culture. It's very different from shows in the West. Anyone that watches anime knows this. And it's like, people that, experience anime, they're like, why is there so much fan service, or why is this and all that? It's just like, just shut up, okay? Like, don't try to change things and, virtue signal and all that with these type of stuff when you don't even understand the media. You don't know where or who is writing it. You throw random things out because you expect it to fit your worldview. It's insane. Legit insane. But, yeah, I wanted to comment on this because things were getting really heated. Things are very heated. I mean, this article obviously, got more people heated up and all that. I mean, hell, you can even see on the right side of the screen, Made in Abyss is still trending, so that is enough. Like, it legit is still getting talked about and all that. People are commenting on it, and, I gotta say, like, it's crazy. Legitimately, man. Anime kind of going mainstream. I don't want to say this. I'm not someone that likes to say this, but I think anime going mainstream sometimes was a mistake. I like seeing anime more accepted, but seeing more people just not understanding what they're talking about and just being upset because a dark fantasy, is a dark fantasy. It's just, like, insane. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Just, if there's one thing you want to take from this, they're basically saying if you enjoy a show that has dark themes in it, you support all those dark themes. So, if it has murder in it, you're a murderer. That's what they're basically saying. But okay, Chibi out.